Coming up on this edition of SU TV News, a sexual assault takes place on campus.
The military is making some big changes.
And in sports, men's basketball has a successful weekend at home.
This is SU TV News, and it starts now.
Welcome to SU TV News. I'm Kayla Reamer.
And I'm Allie Weary. North Dakota lawmakers are seriously questioning whether a major leadership change is needed. A North Dakota lawmaker is proposing an amendment to buy out the contract of NDUS's Chancellor Hamid Shirvani.
Tony Grinberg, Vice Chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee, says Shirvani's leadership is in serious question and his methods have created an environment of fear and retaliation. Funding for the $600,000 bill will come from the state's general fund. Grinberg explains North Dakotans and NDSU students deserve better, and it starts with respected leadership. NDSU is not commenting on the proposed buyout.
In order to level funding across the university system, a new formula has been created. I sat down earlier this week with President Dean Brashani to learn about its progress. After becoming the second poorest funded university in North Dakota, it was clear something wasn't adding up.
When you look at us being the top-ranked research university in the state, offering the largest full-time student enrollment in the state, that becomes a problem when it's in a sense you are underfeeding the best horse you have in a horse race.
The added increase would mean positive changes for the university.
So that NDSU can continue to attract the very best students and produce the most research, which increases our national rank, prestige, and opportunity to support North Dakota through new businesses, new jobs, and educated students to fill those positions.
Communication occurs amongst all the 11 campuses.
All 11 campuses in the state of North Dakota agree that this new funding formula is fair, equitable, and advantageous, and ultimately will result in the success of all 11 campuses, not just NDSU.
Funding is the main focus this year, but there's another project in the works.
That's a classroom building for STEM-related disciplines. Much overdue classroom space.
Allie Weary reporting, SU TV News. The new STEM building would be a main building for all students on campus and utilized by all colleges.
Police are investigating a sexual assault that happened on campus at North Dakota State University. The university police received a report of sexual assault which is said to have occurred in Stockbridge Hall residence room. And the case is open to the police, and the case is open and the police are requesting information. Anyone with information on the assault is encouraged to contact them at 701-231-8998. University police are reminding everyone to pay close attention to surroundings and activities including any drug or alcohol use.
NDSU is doing its part in creating a better learning environment for students. For the 6th year, NDSU is selecting students to tell them what they think of the school. This week, freshmen and seniors were randomly selected to participate in the National Survey of Student Engagement. The questions are focusing on student participation in activities and programs. The survey is designed to help the university identify its strengths and areas for improvement. One freshman feels that the survey is putting NDSU in the right direction.
Improve the experience for the people that are still in college and then for the incoming freshmen.
Great. The survey is administered every other year and helps the university track how engaged students are in their academic lives. Surveys will continue to be sent out through February.
Coming up after the break, we'll show you how NDSU keeps its road clear in the harsh winter months after we take a look at this week's 7-day forecast.
Watch SU TV News on Cable One. Produced by students of Bison Information Network, we promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SUTV News on Cable One Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Stop and Go.
Hey, I'm Alex,
I'm Austin.
and I'm here to tell you about 15 on 15.
It means MapBus arrives every 15 minutes on Route 15 from downtown.
To around town. Find out more about 15 on 15 at mapbus.com.
Check it out on Facebook and Twitter. Keyword MapBus.
It's so fast and convenient.
There are way more than 15 reasons to check out 15 on 15.
I ride MapBus.
And I ride MapBus.
And you should too.
SUTV News is brought to you by Stop and Go. Stop and Go. We're always there.
Welcome back to SUTV News. Established in 1775, the United States Postal Service has been providing mail delivery to citizens all across the country.
But due to a financial downfall, this government agency is trying to cut back. In order to save money, mail will no longer be delivered on Saturdays. Delivering 6 days a week caused the U.S. Postal Service to lose nearly $3 billion per quarter. Competing mail services such as FedEx, UPS, and even email are responsible for the decline in revenue.
So I disapprove that decision, and I hope it doesn't go through. And I like getting mail on Saturdays.
Eliminating Saturday deliveries will in turn save the USPS nearly $2 billion annually. Offices will remain open on Saturdays so mail can still be picked up.
Compared to last year, this winter season has been quite snowy. SUTV's Kayla Reamer takes a look into how facilities management keeps the roads clear during these slippery times.
When it comes to snow removal at NDSU, Pete Zimmerman says there are quite a few machines out there to remove it.
We have one motor grader that primarily is responsible for streets. We have large front-end loaders with various sizes of snow blades that we can put on those that do streets and parking lots. We have smaller loaders with box scrapers on them that do loading docks, and then obviously skid steers.
Operators and snowplows start clearing roads and sidewalks at about 2 a.m. when it's snowing.
We try and do it at a time that's not only convenient for the campus users, but for the operators from a safety standpoint as well.
Facilities management uses a sand salt and sprays down a special mixture of beet juice and brine.
We can pre-treat sidewalks with that prior to an event, and it will, dissipate some of the ice at the time of if the precip is falling.
Zimmerman says they use this special mixture for a reason.
From a green standpoint, trying to be more environmentally friendly, and it's not as corrosive or destructive to floor surfaces and vehicles and things like that.
Kayla Reamer reporting, SUTV News.
Facilities management has about 2 million square feet of parking lots to take care of during the winter and have a staff that consists of 13 people.
Members of the Saddle and Sirloin Club gather at the Shepherd's Arena to set the stage for a Little Eye event held this Saturday. For 87 years, the club has put on this showmanship contest to raise interest in agriculture for North Dakota. The Little International Livestock Show is the largest student-sponsored event at NDSU. More than 300 students participate in planning and organizing Little Eye. Contestants will compete different breeds of farm animals in the contest. The show includes horses, beef, dairy, sheep, and swine.
It takes a long time. We started arena cleanup on Saturday, and today we're hanging streamers, and we've been here since 4 o'clock this morning.
The event is open for the public to attend as well as friends and family of the contestants. It starts at 8 on Saturday morning.
Every year, 1 in 6 Americans get sick from food-related illnesses. There's a new culprit that may surprise you. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention released a report stating that leafy greens are to blame for most food illnesses. The study reports 46% of contaminated food is produce. Vegetables may account for more illness, but meat and poultry cause most of the deaths related to food. The CDC reports people should still be eating their fruits and vegetables, and these findings are not intended to be scary.
When we come back, a longtime rule for women in combat is being changed. Find out more after this week's campus calendar.
Jitters is your home for quality coffee drinks. Whether you crave an espresso, iced coffee, mocha, or macchiato, Jitters has just what you need. Now featuring breakfast foods like caramel rolls, bagels, and more, be sure to get your day started right. Located on 12th Avenue North, Jitters has a friendly, relaxed atmosphere with Wi-Fi capability to get all of your studying done on time. Get your fix only at Jitters.
Watch SU TV News on Cable One. Produced by students of Bison Information Network, we promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SU TV News on Cable One Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Stop and Go.
Hey, I'm Alex.
I'm Austin.
And I'm here to tell you about 15 on 15.
It means MapBus arrives every 15 minutes on Route 15, from downtown
to around town. Find out more about 15 on 15 at mapbus.com.
Check it out on Facebook and Twitter, keyword MapBus.
It's so fast and convenient.
There are way more than 15 reasons to check out 15 on 15.
I ride MapBus.
And I ride MapBus.
And you should too.
Welcome back. Students spend their time preparing for college and stressing over placement exams in high school. Their efforts may be unnecessary. A study was conducted to examine the level of difficulty college curriculum is at.
SU TV's Tanya May explains what is different about today's college experience.
Some critics say colleges and their students have grown lazy. Today's collegiate culture, they say, rewards students with high grades for minimal effort and distracts them with athletics, clubs, and extracurricular activities on campus.
I think it's just different because there's so many tools at the students' access. They can, easily go on their phone and look up anything that we say in class or on their internet, on the internet.
I think college is harder now because we have a lot of extracurricular activities that we have to do, and a lot of college students have part-time jobs now, which adds a lot of stress to the already stressful workload that we usually tend to get from college homework.
That college is not any easier than it used to be. Students' time is just filled with other things besides school, like part-time jobs, extracurricular activities they need to put on their resume.
Not necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily easier or better. I think that there's just so many different things that are out there that contribute to students learning these days that there weren't back, when I was undergrad. I think it all depends on the class. So some classes obviously, and that was how I was when growing up too, or in my undergrad, there's some classes that are just easier than other classes.
But one thing we do know for sure is that it is different. Whether it's easier, whether it's harder, that's for you to decide. But we do know that it has changed. SUTV News reporting, Tanya May.
The survey shows that the amount of time students spend on college has dropped from 24 hours a week to 15. The survey also proves that the amount of time spent on coursework and the degree of difficulty varies from major to major.
The United States combat exclusion rule for women in the military is being changed. The Joint Chiefs of Staff agreed to integrate women into special positions in combat, where recently they were excluded. Last Thursday, the ROTC at NDSU held lab in the Benson Bunker Fieldhouse, where they discussed the changes. The reason behind these amendments is to promote cohesion and morale within the military and to retain the trust of the American people. Many changes have been made that would increase women's roles within the military.
Females are not allowed to serve in certain occupational specialties. Gender-neutral military occupational specialties is what we're moving towards.
The military is going to conduct research over the next few years in order to implement these changes effectively.
It's a piece of plastic that allows us to spend money we might not have. In some cases, young adults are turning to this piece of plastic and starting to incur some debt. SUTV News' Jordan Fleck has more.
It seems pretty easy. You give your card to a store, it's swiped, and your transaction is completed. However, college students are getting credit cards with high limits to pay for tuition and books.
I'd say about 3/4 of the time.
Students have appeared to be experienced building debt, with 20% of seniors carrying a balance of over $5,000 on their cards, raising the question, when is the right age for a credit card?
Over 18, possibly 21, just depending on the status of the individual. If they're working a full-time job and have the ability to pay it back, then I say, that would be plenty good.
91% of undergrad students at least have one credit card. Although credit cards can carry interest in occupied debt, there are benefits for students owning a credit card.
Credit card, you would see the statement, be able to call into the credit card company, get it taken care of, and not have it affect your cash at all.
If a credit card is managed successfully, it can be a great building block to understand financial management.
Do not use it all the way up to the credit limit. So if you have a $1,000 limit, you're going to only want to go up, halfway, maybe 3/4. Pay it down, pay it off. To their benefit, it would be to pay it off each month so they're not paying interest, and also to be in a rewards program.
Selecting a credit card can be difficult for college students. It's important to speak with a personal banker before they make their credit card choice. I'm Jordan Fleck, SUTV News.
The NDSU Counseling Center provides personal, academic, and career-related concerns. Most services are free for NDSU students.
Well, the game may be over and the food is gone, but the Super Bowl commercials have left a lasting impression.
This week for Sidewalk Stampede, we learned a few of the fan favorites.
To say my favorite Super Bowl ad was the Dorito one with the goat. It seemed funny at the end because all the Doritos were stashed in the guy's bedroom and the goat was like, I'm gonna get you because you took my Doritos.
My favorite was the Taco Bell ad with all of the elderly people who snuck out of the nursing home and played a bunch of pranks on people.
My favorite ad would have to be the one about the guy from Minnesota who's talking in a Jamaican accent.
My favorite Super Bowl ad was the Kia Sorento Space Babies ad because it was really cinematic and I loved the punchline.
Well, joining us now is sports anchor Morgan Lubin. Well, guys, I would say that my favorite commercial was the farmer commercial. What was your guys'?
I'd have to say probably the Calvin Klein ad. I know it's kind of cliche, but it's my type.
That's very you. I agree with Kayla. I think it is that farmer commercial. Paul Harvey narrated that commercial. Just great radio personality. One of my favorites. I miss him, listening to him on the radio. Speaking of football and sports, we got NDSU sports to talk about. We'll take a look at wrestling and more with SU TV Sports after this.
Jitters is your home for quality coffee drinks. Whether you crave an espresso, iced coffee, mocha, or macchiato, Jitters has just what you need. Now featuring breakfast foods like caramel rolls, bagels, and more, be sure to get your day started right. Located on 12th Avenue North, Jitters has a friendly, relaxed atmosphere with Wi-Fi capability to get all of your studying done on time. Get your fix only at Jitters.
Watch SU TV News on Cable One. Produced by students of Bison Information Network, we promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SU TV News on Cable One Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Stop and Go.
We're Forest fans because we love coming to the games. It's very affordable and the whole family enjoys it.
We're Forest fans because we enjoy coming to the Forest games. It gives us something to do and look forward to every week.
This is Force Hockey.
Welcome back. Wednesday marked a big day for college football around the nation as it was the first day recruits could sign their national letters of intent. The Bison football team received 21 letters of commitment and recruited 3 walk-ons to play next fall. Among the recruits were 11 offensive players, including Moorhead High School running back Chase Morlock, who finished his 3-year career with over 5,000 yards and over 100 tackles. 13 defensive players signed, including 6 linebackers. One of them was Pierre G. Tucker from Illinois, who originally committed to conference rival Northern Iowa before an hour-long phone call with head coach Craig Bohl around midnight Tuesday that changed his decision.
Exciting day for Bison football and really an excellent class. Thought we had a great deal of effort by our coaches and excellent leadership by Kenny Burns, our recruiting coordinator.
The Bison were able to recruit players from 9 different states, including Florida and Kansas. The Bison men's basketball team snapped a 2-game losing streak with 2 decisive home victories over the weekend. The game against the Coyotes of South Dakota gave the Bison their 10th straight win at the Bison Sports Arena. And we'll head out to the Bison Sports Arena now. NDSU was following a record-setting defensive performance they had Thursday night against Kansas City. USD would start early with a 3 from Duval Miles that put USD up 7-2. Next Bison possession. Bison share the ball nicely as Corey Brown's going to take it. He misses a layup, but Marshall Bjorklund was there for the putback. That was 2 of Marshall's 6 points on the night. 2 minutes later, the Bison still passing around very nicely. Mike Felt takes the 3. No good. Watch Trayvon Wright sky for the rebound. He dunks it back home. Trayvon had 17 points in the game right before the half. Nate Zastro hits his second 3 on back-to-back possessions for the Bison. And the Bison would lead 24-15 at half. In the second half, it was all Bison, and it's Brett Vandenberg. He hits a 3 there. He had 3 threes in the second half. That was his first. Here's the second, virtually same area on the floor. He had 14 points on the night, and there's his 3rd one of the second half. Bison would go on to win 65-46. Bison stay in a 3-way tie for first in the Summit League. It was also announced earlier this week that the Bison will travel to Akron to take on the nation's longest current win streak in their Bracket Buster game on February 22nd. That game will be on ESPN2 with a tip-off at 6 p.m. where North Dakota State has been scheduled to host a game for the Summit League Food Fight this year. Next week, NDSU will collect food and cash to deliver to the Elpa Bales House in Fargo. The Summit League Food Fight will conclude on February 16th when the Bison host IUPUI in the Bison Sports Arena. The school that collects the most food in pounds will be declared the winner. While Fargo is still covered with snow, the Bison men's golf team was in action in Houston. In the first tournament of 2013, senior Nathan Anderson swung his way into the record books. Anderson tied a school record with an 8-under par round of 64 in the Rice Intercollegiate Tournament. Going into the third and final round, Anderson was tied for 24th place before jumping to a tie for second. The Bison as a team finished 11 out of 13 and don't play another tournament until mid-March. Well, the number 25 ranked Bison wrestling team found themselves down early to their 8th ranked opponent of the season. University of Northern Iowa took a 14-4 lead over NDSU at the halfway point, but for the Bison mounted an exciting comeback. Out to the Bison Sports Arena now, where the Bison had lost 4 straight bouts versus UNI until this 165-pound match where the number 6 ranked wrestler in the nation, Stephen Monk, was already up 10-0. He gets a 3-point near fall. He will win the major decision 14-1. NDSU was down 14-8 to 174 pounds an hour. Curtis Jolson was tied at 1 with number 19, Cody Caldwell. 33 seconds left in the third period. Jolson gets a takedown. He would win 3-2. The Bison pull within 3 for the match to 197 pounds now. The Bison trailing 18-11 after a Max Stoll loss. This is Callan Kleinschmidt up with a minute left. He gets the takedown. He allowed an escape, so they would go back at it again. He would get a quick takedown again right there, and he would win the major decision. Over to the heavyweight. Now the big boys. NDSU was down 18-15. Evan Knutson needed a win to tie the match. Knotted at 1 with under a minute remaining. Knutson's going to go for the takedown, but instead Blaine Beal, he avoids the takedown and gets a takedown of his own to win the bout 4-1. UNI would defeat the Bison 21-15. With Summit League news, guys, Kansas City announces that they are dropping out of the Summit League for next year and years to come.
Well, you know, that'll leave us with only 9 in the Summit League then.
NDSU students are giving back. Find out how after the break.
This is Sarah Hunter, Career Specialist with the NDSU Career Center. While our past career fairs have only been 1 day in the spring, this Career Expo is actually 2 days long. It gives students the chance to find opportunities in not just a couple, but many different majors.
My name is Jamie and I'm a senior at NDSU. I'm going to the Career Expo because I think it's a great opportunity to network. I also graduate in May, so this is perfect timing for me to find a job.
The number one tip I have for students as a career specialist is get started right away. Don't wait to prepare. Make sure you start preparing by coming into the Career Center, getting your resume critiqued, doing your research on the companies, and really getting mentally prepared for the Career Expo.
We're Force fans because we love coming to the games. It's very affordable and the whole family enjoys it.
We're Forest fans because we enjoy coming to the Forest games. It gives us something to do and look forward to every week.
This is Force Hockey.
Watch SU TV News on Cable One. Produced by students of Bison Information Network, we promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SU TV News on Cable One Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Stop and Go.
$1.7 million U.S. teens are homeless, and the number one item they request from shelters is a pair of jeans. NDSU students are doing their part to help the homeless youth in Fargo. The NDSU National Society of Collegiate Scholars took part in Air Apostles' annual Teen for Jeans campaign. Students are providing gently used jeans of varying brands and sizes Wednesday and Thursday at the table in the Union. Jeans will be donated to United Way in Fargo, located on 7th Street South. For more information on how you can become involved, check out www.dosomething.org/teensforjeans. Thank you for watching this edition of SU TV News.
Be sure to pick up a copy of The Spectrum and check us out on Facebook or Twitter.
Have a great night.